At one point in my life, I was extremely sure of what I wanted to do. But gradually, life took over and I let go of my interests, thinking that it's too difficult to voice my thoughts and to act on what I really want. But then one fine day, I decided to flip and change my reality. So, here are 10 things that you should do to get yourself out of the rut and to ultimately make the greatest comeback of your life. The first thing that you have to do is you have to have a routine. So, if you are someone who is just going with the flow, who is just living life as it is, doing the mundane tasks of every day, and ultimately realizing that you're not getting any time for yourself, your interests, your introspection, your journaling, and everything, it is because you are not having a routine currently. You have not divided your day in such a way that you can have maximum benefits out of it and to give optimum time for all your activities. The thought of having a routine sometimes gets too daunting, to be honest, and I understand that. So if you're just starting out, try not to be a perfectionist. So this is the mistake that I made when I started trying to have a routine. I started trying to have an ideal routine, that is, wake up before sunrise, then get some sunlight, do some exercise, then stretch, the typical Huberman's morning routine. Because of this, what happened is, because I had such high goal for myself or high expectation from myself, I often let myself down because I was not able to wake up before sunrise on most of the days. And because of that, I started feeling that I will not be able to follow any kind of routine just because I'm not able to wake up on time. But that is so wrong. So this is my personal opinion that if you want to have a routine, it's not mandatory to have the ideal routine, especially if you're just starting. अगर आप शुरू कर रहे हो ना एक routine रखना, then जरूरी नहीं है कि आप सब कुछ perfect करो. What you can start with is just having a routine that suits your lifestyle. For example, maybe you have kids and you have to get them ready for school, and maybe you have to cook for your husband. Everybody has different priorities in their life, and it's difficult to fit the perfect routine for everybody. See how your day goes ideally and try to categorize your timings in such a way that you also keep some time for yourself and for your nurturing, for your well-being, for your growth. When you have a routine, it gives you time for yourself. Now, the second thing that you should do is you should have a to-do list every single day. Now, either you make it a day before at night or you make it early in the morning, but you have to have a to-do list. And for the longest time, I did not give importance to to-do lists, and I have faced the repercussions of it, and that's why I can tell you very candidly that it's very, very important to have a to-do list. It does two things. Firstly, it structures your day and it gives you an idea of what are the tasks that you currently have on your plate. Because कभी-कभी क्या होता है, especially मेरे साथ ये होता था, because I did not want to write my things down, it cluttered my brain, and because of that, all day I used to feel that, oh, I have so much work, and it used to give me a lot of anxiety. So having a to-do list gives you an idea of the number of tasks you have for every single day, and you can also prioritize your tasks according to their priority. And the second thing it does is it gives you a sense of satisfaction at the end of the day. Like whenever you complete your tasks, you feel so accomplished at the end of the day, and it's very important to feel accomplished. Let's not ignore these small things in our life, because to be happy in ourselves is also important, right? So if we have achieved something, we need to feel accomplished for it, because when we feel accomplished for something, we stay on track, we stay motivated, and we stay inspired. And that's why it's very, very important to have a to-do list. Now, be the smallest tasks, you write it on your to-do list, be it going to a grocery store, spending time with your spouse, writing the script for your next YouTube video. All of these should be written down, and once you achieve them, just start ticking them off, and you will feel a sense of accomplishment, and it will make you feel really good at the end of the day. The third thing that you need to do is you need to have a vision board. Now, you must have heard it from so many people, but I will reiterate this, that you need to have a vision board. Now, if you are someone who is, older, or, who is well settled in their life, having kids, busy in the mundane activities of life, and now you have reached a stage where you think that, अब क्या फायदा? Like, अब क्या हो जाएगा? अब बहुत देर हो गई है. If you have reached that stage in your life, then I think this video is going to be very helpful for you, first of all. And secondly, for you also, it is important to have a vision board if at all you want to, change your reality. Like, if you're happy with where you are, then it's well and good. But if you're watching this video, I'm assuming feeling that you want to change something about yourself, or you have some dreams that you have not accomplished and now you're feeling that it's too late to accomplish them, this video is a sign for you to start making a vision board if you don't have it yet. I'm sure you know what a vision board is, but if you do not know, I'll just give you a brief idea. Like, it's a board where you have all your ideal things stuck on it. Like, maybe you want to, travel solo, then you will have a picture of a girl traveling solo. Or if you want to make certain amount of money in the year, then you write down that amount that you want to make in the year and you stick it on the vision board. If you want to meet a certain kind of life partner, then you picturize that and you stick it on the vision board. So basically, you make a collection of pictures of the things that you want to achieve in your life, or the things that you see yourself doing. Make a vision board and start looking at it. Put it right in front of you, right in front of your bed, or right in front of your work desk, so that you can have a look at it as frequently as possible. But the most important time to look at it is right before you go to bed and right after you wake up, because that time our subconscious is most active, and that is when it manifests these visions into reality. Now, the fourth thing that you need to do is you need to set weekly goals. Now, I'm not talking about yearly goals, I'm not talking about quarterly goals or monthly goals, I'm talking about weekly goals. Because if you want to reinvent your life and if you're desperate to change your reality, you need to keep a check on yourself, and you need to keep a check on yourself quite often. Because if you leave yourself, again, if you stop having a check for yourself, and if you stop keeping a track of your progress and where you are headed, then again there are chances that you might slip into the rut again. So it's important to keep yourself in check. You have to be your own teacher here, and you have to check yourself. Like, whenever you are not going in the right direction, then you have to correct your ways and you have to see what best you can do to reach your goal. So every week, sit down with yourself alone. Have your vision board if you want to, have a diary if you want to, write down all the things that you've achieved in the week, and write down all the things that you have not achieved in the week. Write down what went wrong, what went right, what you can do about it, all those things. But it's important to have a pit stop every single week so that you go in the right direction and you're able to get yourself out of that rut that you're stuck in. Now, the fifth thing that you need to do is you need to disappear. Yes, you heard it right, you need to disappear. So what happens is, we have built a lifestyle, right? Like, we have a current reality. But in this video, what we're talking about is changing that reality. So if you want to change your reality, then you want to change your current social situation. Now, I'm not saying that this social situation is not good for you, but if you want to change or upgrade yourself, then sometimes it could be a good idea to disappear. Like, disappear into your own world. Now, what I mean by disappearing is you can cut down on those friendly phone calls every single day for 1 hour, 2 hours. You might be speaking to your relatives, you might be speaking to your mom, you might be speaking to your friends. You need to cut down on all those timings so that you can utilize that time for building yourself up. Because here we are talking about reinventing yourself right now, as soon as possible. So you do not have extra time to give to everybody, because life is short, day is short, and in that same day you have to pick and choose what you want to do with your time, and you have to try to make the optimum utilization of your time, and you have to try to utilize your day in the wisest way possible. And the first point that I said is having a routine will also help you in realizing how much time you're wasting when you are socializing or talking on the phone or scrolling on the internet. So it's important that you disappear if that is required. If your partner is too demanding, try to make them understand that right now you are focusing on your goal, and that's why you will not be as much available. If your friends are too clingy, try to make them understand. Cancel some plans with friends if you have to, socialize less if you have to. Try to just disappear from this social environment and focus on your goal. Like, imagine that you're preparing for a competitive exam and put all your attention and energy into just reinventing yourself and focusing on the thing that you want to achieve. The sixth thing that you should do is you should avoid cheap dopamine. You have to avoid things that give you temporary satisfaction or temporary entertainment. There are so many things that are just waiting to seek our attention and waste our time. So start looking at these things as a waste of your time and start considering these things as your distractions. Imagine that you are trying to work on your goal and all these things are trying to pull you away. Everybody's trying to get your attention span, and these companies are spending billions of dollars to just figure out a way to steal your attention span. So you have to be smart here. You have to realize that your attention is the most important thing that you have, and the best thing that you can do is to give that attention to yourself and not to companies and people who are making money out of it and who are getting rich by just feeding on your attention. So be smart and avoid cheap dopamine. Now, the seventh thing that you need to do is you need to remember why you started. It's very important to have that goal written right in front of you. You need to look at it every single day. You need to think about it every single day, why you started and where you want to go. Like, what is your goal and why you want to reach there? Because that is very, very important to keep you driven throughout the process. The eighth thing that you need to do is you need to write positive affirmations and you need to have a positive dialogue with yourself. So we often forget to be our own cheerleader, and that is so important, because it's not necessary that we'll find many people who will be our cheerleaders or who will uplift us when we are not in our right spirits. So it's very, very important to write your own affirmations every single day. It could be at night, it could be in the morning, but you need to write about the things that you want to achieve. Write it like you've already achieved it. So for example, I could be writing in my affirmations that I have 1000 subscribers on YouTube and I have monetized my channel. I'm feeling great, I'm healthy, I'm happy. So write these kind of things. It sounds very small and petty, but it's very important to keep you in the right spirits, to keep your mind on the positive side of things, because often in life, often during the day, we tend to slip back into that, rut mentality, into that negative mentality, into that thought process ki humse nahi ho payega. Like, we cannot do it. We tried everything, but it's just not happening and we'll never be able to make it. So these kind of things might pop up in your head, and that's why it's important to remind yourself every single day that you have achieved it, you can achieve it, you can do it. Also, when you are, doing your mundane activities in the day, try to have positive dialogues with yourself. When you are thinking these negative things, try to change that dialogue into something positive. For example, if you failed in something, instead of saying that, oh, I'm such a stupid person, I always fail, change that narrative into something like, oh, I gave my best shot, but it didn't work out this time. I will try my best again next time. So it's like accepting the reality, but again, uplifting yourself, having that positive mindset, having that hope in your thought process gives a lot of positivity in your mind and keeps you on the positive mindset spectrum rather than letting you slip into that, negative mindset. Now, the ninth thing that you have to do is you have to channelize your pain of failure into something magical. Pain is very powerful. Pain makes us do a lot of things. So for example, if you've gone through a heartbreak and you're feeling like your life is about to end and nothing is left in your life, use that pain, because that pain is very, very strong. If you have pain from anything, like maybe your relative came up in your childhood and told you that, oh, you're not so bright after all, you're not so intelligent, and my son is better than you, or that kid achieved something great, but it's okay if you could not achieve it. I understand you're not a very bright student, or something like that. If anybody, like your teacher, your parents, even your relatives, someone came up in your childhood or during your entire life right now, if someone came up to you and told you something that hurt you or that caused you pain, then utilize that pain. So just show the world, I will show you one day वाली जो feeling है ना, वो गलत नहीं है. आई फील दैट इट्स वेरी वेरी पावरफुल कि मैं दिखा दूंगी एक दिन ये करके. आई विल शो दैट आंटी दैट आई कैन डू बिग थिंग्स इन लाइफ, और आई शो दैट पर्सन दैट आई कैन डू दिस, आई कैन बिकम दिस. इफ यू हैव एनी काइंड ऑफ हर्ट, एनी काइंड ऑफ पेन lying down in your heart, grab that pain and use that power to do something magical in your life. And currently, like we're talking about transforming our life or flipping our life, and to make the greatest comeback of our life, you can use it and work towards your goals, stay focused, stay determined, and show them what you can do. The 10th, the last and the most important thing that you need to do is you need to be selfish. So the act of being selfish has always been, looked down upon. Like people have always made you feel that being selfish is wrong. And I agree that it's wrong to be selfish. But sometimes, especially when it comes to being selfish for yourself or for your goals and aspirations, I feel that it's not wrong. Because अगर तुम लाइफ में सब कुछ के साथ ग्रो करना चाहते हो ना, तो फिर वो थोड़ा मुश्किल है. It's difficult to have everything normally going on in your life and then you also achieving something extraordinary. So if you want to target towards that extraordinary, sometimes you have to shed that extra weight or shed that extra baggage that you have. So it's important to focus only on yourself. If you are involved with a lot of your friends and their lives and their parents and everybody, if you have a big circle and if you want to do everything but succeed at the same time, then it's difficult. And that could be one of the reasons why you've not reached to a point where you wanted to. I myself might have wasted a lot of time doing all these things, and that's why I feel that it is actually a waste of time, and I can say this openly now. But yeah, if you want to make the greatest comeback of your life, it's time to be selfish for some time. Because you know what, everything comes back eventually. Like people who are meant to be in your lives will come back to you. People who are meant to stay will stay, and people who are meant to stay will also understand that you are busy working on yourself, and they will give you that space. And if you have people around you who are just not understanding that you are busy working on your dreams or you're busy working on your goal, then are they really your friends after all? So moral of the story, be selfish. So make yourself the protagonist of your own story. Like don't be selfish as a person, like don't be mean as a person, but when it comes to working on your goals and aspirations, it's okay to be selfish. So those were all the 10 things that you should do if you're looking at reinventing yourself, or if you're looking at making the greatest comeback of your life, and if you want to get out of that rut. So on that note, I will end this video here. I hope you liked it. I hope you took away something from it. Do make sure to hit a like on this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel if you have not done so yet. And I will see you again very, very soon in my next one. Till then, bye-bye, take care.